unto the rock whence you were hewn, and to the hole of the pit whence you were digged. Look unto Abraham your father, and unto Sarah that bore you. For when he was but one, I called him and made him many.
Comforted Zion, and hath made her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody.
Awake, awake, put on strength. Awake as in the days of old, the generation of ancient times.
Excuse me, please. Could you tell me what you found here?
Well, this place is all fill. It contains several periods. It's not so easy to tell before it's been cleaned, but I think that it's 8th century. It could be the top of a cooking vessel. On the other side, we're uncovering the Herodian period.
Could you tell me where you're from?
South Africa.
Why exactly did you choose to come to Israel?
Well, as a student of archaeology, I think that Israel is one of the most exciting places. Being Jewish, well, my past is here. You know, in South Africa, the Jews are pretty isolated. They have to sort of cling to tradition in order to keep their heritage. Well, it's quite hard. I think that in Israel it's much easier to keep the tradition because, well, they're sort of surrounded by the past. They don't have to be reminded.
Verily these 7 ewe lambs shalt thou take of my hand that I have digged this well. Wherefore that place was called Beersheba, because there they swore both of them. So Abraham made a covenant at Beersheba. And Isaac removed from thence and digged another well, and he called the name of it Rehovot. And the coast shall be for the remnant of the house of Judah, that they feed thereupon. In the houses of Ashkelon shall they lie down in the evening, for the Lord their God shall visit them, and turn away their captivity.
And I will turn the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be plucked up out of their land, which I have given them.
And it came to pass that Elijah said unto him, Tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord hath sent me to the Jordan. And David went up by the ascent of the Mount of Olives, and wept as he went up, and he had his head covered, and went barefoot.
Break forth into joy. Sing together, ye waste places of Jerusalem. For the Lord hath comforted his people. He hath redeemed Jerusalem.
Hear the word of the Lord, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles far off, and say that he that scattered Israel doth gather him, and keep him as a shepherd doth his flock.
Refrain thy voice from weeping, and thy eyes from tears. For thy work shall be rewarded, and thou shalt come back from the land of the enemy, and there is hope for the future, and thy children shall return to their own border.
Excuse me, could you tell me where you're from?
From Israel.
I mean, where are you originally from?
From Baghdad, Iraq.
Could you please tell me how you came here?
I am here 24 years. I came with other 49 children from Baghdad.
Could you tell us the story of how you came here?
Well, as I remember it, I was very young. In 1947, at night, we snuck under the fence. And I remember the lights of the plane was direct to the control tower, blinding the guards. And with seconds, all the children jumped on the plane and we flew. Believe me, I was very afraid. But this was the only way for the Jewish children to escape from Iraq. You remember that time in 1947, the British was here. We are under the mandate.
Iraq 1969, Iraq 1970.
We land, and after that the cars came and brought us to somewhere in the kibbutz to cover us. And the next morning, I am here. I walk and say, I am free now, no one after me.
And it shall come to pass that day that the Lord will set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. And he will assemble the dispersed of Israel, and gather together the scattered of Judah from the four corners of the earth. And they shall come and sing in the height of Zion, and their soul shall be as a watered garden, and they shall not pine any more at all. Then shall the virgin rejoice in the dance, and the young men and the old together. For I will turn their mourning into joy, and will comfort them, and make them rejoice from their sorrow.
Oh, my child, my little daughter, close your eyes and sleep. You cannot know how I, your mother, think of you and weep. somewhere far away, good people rear you as their own, while I, your mother, sick and broken, at my workbench grow. A stranger sits beside your cradle beneath her cottage thatch, while I, your mother, slave of the Nazis, wear a yellow patch. God perhaps will hear my pleading and cut short my pain. Then my ghost will seek my baby and find you again. Nobody will see me with you, only you, my dear, will feel the spirit of your mother standing very near. Oh, my child, my little daughter, close your eyes and sleep. You cannot know how I, your mother, think of you and weep.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Can you tell me where you're from?
Yes, I'm from Russia.
How long have you been in Israel?
I'm not a long time in Israel.
Could you tell me how you came here?
I cannot tell you exactly how I came to Israel.
Well, are you waiting here for letters?
Yes, I'm waiting for letters from my family in Russia.
Could you tell me, does your family write to you?
They are not right, they are afraid to write in Israel. Because it's not very пропускает цензура.
Could you tell us about the situation of the Jews in Russia?
Yes, I can tell you about my situation in Russia. Many Jews хотят...
Maybe you could tell it to us in Russian.
Can, it's better for me. Очень много евреев хотят приехать в Израиль. Но не все можно приехать так...
Many Jews want to come to Israel. Yet not everyone can come even if he wants to. We were a big family in Russia and also wanted to come to Israel. We waited a long time. My sister was unfortunate. She couldn't leave with her husband, so she had to leave Russia alone with her small daughter. Her husband was supposed to leave Russia a month after her, but they wouldn't let him leave. He was told that he'll never be allowed to leave Russia and was taken to a secret unit. My sister still waits for him here, and I don't know what will happen to her. I wanted to marry in Russia and had a girlfriend, but it was forbidden for us to marry. If we had married, we would never be able to leave Russia. But I was lucky. My girlfriend also got out and we were married in Israel. I want all humanity to know about the conditions of the Jews, not only their conditions, but the treatment of the Jews in Russia. I want very much for humanity to help the Jews leave Russia. I hope humanity will understand me and can help the Jews still in Russia to come to Israel.
That's all what I can tell you.
He is not a brother to me. He is more than a brother. All my strength and love, all that my soul is rich in, I gladly would give to him.
Hi. Where are you all from and why did you come here?
I'm from the north side of Chicago. I'm from New York, 104th Street, Manhattan.
I'm studying at the University of Tel Aviv.
I'm from California, and I had most of my religious training in Sunday school, and all the time when they were speaking about Israel, it was always this idealistic country, and it was really not that important for me to come here because it was really...
I remember during the Six-Day War, I went to a private school where most of the students were Jewish, but they were very apathetic to Judaism. They didn't care about Israel at all.
But I've heard about friends of mine about Israel, so I decided I wanted to see what it was all about.
Before the war, when Israel was the underdog, people's sympathies were that way. It was really cool.
But as soon as the war broke out, I came into school, and everyone was listening to the radio. It was amazing. They suddenly became really interested in Israel. And then I went home, and my whole neighborhood, which is also Jewish and apathetic, was interested also.
But after she won, she looked like this strong, powerful nation. And people stopped realizing that it's still the same small country struggling for survival.
It seems ironic that during times of crisis and catastrophe such as happened during the Six-Day War, people really cared. But now, when things are somewhat quiet, people just don't give a damn. The Jewish community doesn't give a damn.
Before I came here, the impression I had was that this is an aggressive, militaristic country. And I came expecting to find these, super assertive, hard, Zionistic type people. And I was really surprised. It's a country where the emphasis is on warmth, is on peace.
As a country, a real place to live.
The people tend to go about their lives, take the war in their stride, and are very warm, very friendly people.
We were all students here for 1 year, and now we're all working as volunteers on a kibbutz.
Excuse me, please. Could you tell me where you're from?
Yes, please.
Could you tell me where you're from?
Oh, I'm from here. I was born here.
Your father?
My father was born here, too.
Your grandfather?
My grandfather was born here, too.
Well, then, your great-grandfather?
He came from Russia.
Could you tell me how he came here?
Well, how he came here, I don't believe I know. I know why he came here. It all has to do with a letter his brother wrote to him from this country.
Do you know anything about this letter?
Well, we all in my family know about this letter. You see, it's something we read very often.
Maybe you could tell us something about it.
Well, it's in Hebrew. I'll try and just translate it for you. My dear, beloved brother, I'm sitting here in Upper Galilee, alone. The Arabs are going to attack again. My house is patch tent. My rug is a straw mat. My table, a piece of tin. My lantern, a dying candle. But I say to you, my brother, that I would not exchange this home of mine for all the treasures of Russia. Therefore, take your belongings and come, because this is our country and this is where we belong.
Do you think that all Jews should live in Israel?
No, I don't believe all the Jews should live in Israel. But if Jews will cease to live in Israel, I believe it will spell the end of our people, even though they might live in other places.
For are we not all one family? And is it not love that binds us? As the love of a mother to her child, as the love of a father to his son, and the love of our people uniting us in an everlasting bond.
Excuse me, please. Are you waiting here for someone?
No.
No family? No friends among all the people who live here?
No, I don't know anybody at all.
Oh. Well, could you tell me why you came here to visit Israel?
Well, it's a bit difficult to explain, I think.
Could you try to explain?
Yes. When I was a little girl, I lived in my mother's house, and I loved that very much. And now I'm grown up. I have my own home, my own family, and I love them very much, too. And although I was never very religious, coming here is like coming to a home I once had that I loved very much.
Do you think your feeling is unique?
Well, I suppose anybody who feels very strongly about anything feels his feeling is unique. No?
I really don't know.
Come to think of it, I remember when President Kennedy went to visit Ireland. The Irish regarded him as the returning son of Ireland. That's quite a thought, isn't it? The President of the United States, the returning son of Ireland. Is that unique?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, well, here I am, over 35, and I feel that I've come to visit a home I loved after 2,000 years.
הקשיבו נא נוסעי אל בטיסה 261 לרוב פריז בניו יורק, מתבקשים לעלות למטוס דרך שער מספר 5. נא להכין כרטיסי עלייה למטוס ולהימנע ממישור.
I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore with affection have I drawn thee. Again will I build thee, and thou shalt be built.
Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone, flowers appear on the earth, the time of singing is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land.
Excuse me, do you think that this university, other than being a center of learning, serves other functions?
I think that Chaim Weizmann, in his speech when he laid the cornerstone of this university, can answer your question better than I could.
It seems at first sight paradoxical that in a land where everything still remains to be done, we should begin by creating a center of spiritual and intellectual development. From this day, the Hebrew University is a reality. Our university, formed by Jewish learning and Jewish energy, will mold itself into an integral part of our national structure, which is in the process of erection. It will have a centripetal force, attracting all that is noblest in Jewry throughout the world, a unifying center for our scattered elements. There will go forth, too, inspiration and strength that shall re-verify the powers now latent in our scattered communities. Here the wandering soul of Israel will reach its haven, its strength no longer consumed in restless and vain wanderings. Israel shall at last remain at peace within itself and with the world. Chaim Weizmann.
Youth is not a time of life. It is a state of mind. It is not a matter of ripe cheeks, red lips, and supple knees. It is a temper of the will, a quality of the imagination, a vigor of the emotions. It is a freshness of the deep spring of life.
Sure, youth is searching. I think everybody is looking for something, but it's much easier if you have something to look for. Me? I'm a medical student.
And I'm working in photosynthetic reactions of the blue-green algae. And the spacemen and astronauts can take this algae in small tubes and samples and use them as a food for all months in the space.
Working in the operating room can be very tiring. But since I'm here, I come from Mexico, I don't feel the hours.
I'm working here on the membrane process for desalination of water during my PhD degree. I work about 12 hours a day and I enjoy my work very much.
Well, it's a game. Of course it's a game and it's good. It's healthy. Keeps me in shape. No doctors.
I enjoy jumping the best. When I finish in my studies, I want to be the farmer in kibbutz.
Something vital and real and worthwhile.
We work in the plastics department, where we have projects of making membranes out of plastic material that will separate metal salts. We have a jazz company and we perform all over the country. And the best of all, I like to perform before the border ceremony.
I've painted in many countries. Painting in this country is something special. It has vitality, and at the same time, it has serenity, it has peacefulness, it has beauty.
We're making films, not westerns, easterns.
You remind me of a story. There was a farmer who was digging in his little yard, and a tourist comes. He looks at it and he says, I'd like to buy this piece of land. How much is it? He gives him a tremendous figure of money. He says, what? So much money for such a little piece? Oh, he says, it's very small, the old man, but it's very deep. That's Israel. She's very small, but she's very deep.
Observe the waters. When they flow together, they sweep along the stones, trees, earth, and other things.
But if they are divided into many streams, the earth swallows them up, and they vanish. So shall it be if we are not united. We, the Jewish people.